Welcome to Simple Sense for Small Business, where we have combined our mistake of the day with weekly tarot readings. We do a glitch tarot reading for 7 days of the week. My name is Linda Ray. I manage this channel, Simple Sense for Small Business, as well as our business Aurora Consulting, which is a disaster financing consulting business with my partner Trevor. This week, we're going to be focusing on glitch number 216 to 222. And if you want to know what that means, please check our weekly tarot playlist. Trying to shorten these videos a little bit, so I want to direct you to the last several that we've done where I kind of go through our background and who we are and why we're doing this and all that fun stuff. So let's get started on what we're doing today. Spam is not just meat. Renegotiating certain financial services products. Also, tending to the mundane, tedious tasks of long-term plans for your business, exit strategies for your business. Let's see what else. Oh, and labeling some spending habits. That one is particularly near and dear to my heart, so we'll get into that. This is entertainment purposes only. There's no studies or facts or white papers on anything that we do today with the cards that have anything to do with the mistakes that we have seen, we've made, that happen in business. This is just an intuitive type of approach, and if it inspires you, please enjoy and let us know in the comments if any one glitch resonated more than the other. And in the description, there'll be timestamps for each glitch tarot reading, but also last year's video that has nothing to do with a tarot reading and how this came about. We're getting back to basics with using the business class tarot deck and the success card, which I did peek at this because, again, I want to kind of make these a little shorter for you because I know you have things to do to get on with your day. So let's start with the first glitch, which is, please like and subscribe if you would, just so that other business owners who may like a different way to approach considerations in business can find us, and that YouTube will maybe put this out in the search. Since we're pretty unknown, that would be most appreciated. And let's see, what else? Okay, 216, glitch 216. For August 3rd. Oh, I should also tell you, we're technically taking off for the month of August. So I may not be doing these videos for the last 2 weeks of August. I'm doing a few videos. I'm recording a few videos today, which is July 25th. So that's why it may seem like I'm kind of rushing, because I'm not going to be able to get all that I want done. Okay, glitch 216 for August 3rd. Do you check your spam folder? This made the roster because during the pandemic, when we were working with business clients all over the country who were trying to get approved for the SBA's Economic Injury Disaster Loan, we found that a lot of SBA emails were going into spam folders for the respective business owners that we were working with, and sometimes they would not see these emails, and they were extremely urgent and pertinent to, oh, that popped out. Yeah, so 4 of Cups. This is not taking the time to address certain tedious tasks in your business because you have better things to do. But what happens if you don't do it? Then what happens? We're going to do a 3-card spread, which is the energy of the mistake, the shift to make to then have an optimal result for the mistake. So we're going to do, first of all, human resources. I have to remember the major arcana cards. This is the High Priestess. So this is understanding all the intricacies of your business. And if you don't like doing some of those, then that's where you delegate. Okay, now I'm really getting started. Okay, the energy is the 7 of Wands. This is product. So this is defending your business, persistence, resilience in your business, which is why checking spam is so critical, because if you miss something, an opportunity, then how much of a lost opportunity is that? And how can you even quantify lost opportunities? This is sort of a little bit of a mystery for me that I am fascinated with, that it's sometimes almost impossible, unless there's a way, let me know, that you can quantify the lost opportunities. I'm not saying just from spam, I'm just saying in general. So defending your business would be to figure out a protocol for checking spam. The shift to make in your business is the Page of Cups, the brand assistant. This is a curiosity, and typically with pages, not only are they of a curious nature, but someone who you could have help you with organizing a process or a protocol or procedure to make this happen successfully. And the result of doing this is, experience. This is, let me make sure, this is 6. This is, this is the Lovers. The experience is the Lovers. I should know that from the from the image alone. When I'm reading for business and the Lovers card comes up and this card says experience, this is also potentially the strategic alliances that could be dispatched, if you will, or employed. We've already done a glitch and a tarot reading on IT professionals and how you can maybe coordinate with them to have a more seamless, fluid, flawless filter system for your spam folder. I like it. I mean, it's not so exciting, so I can't say I love it like I usually do, but I like it. I like it a lot. And having a major arcana card come up and it being the Lovers, that is very interesting, because there might be something that comes up here that, popping out, the Page of Pentacles, someone who helps with things that make money in your business. Strategic alliances, I think, is where my thought was. Anyway, maybe I'll fix that in editing. All right, so the next glitch 217 for August 4th. I am very excited about this one. This is, are you an overbuyer or an underbuyer? Are you an overbuyer or an underbuyer? Now, this was inspired from Gretchen Rubin's podcast, Happier, and she wrote about this in one of her books. And in fact, last week's reading, there was one about managing cash and managing money. We talked about that. So now this is the actual spending habit of, are you an underbuyer or an overbuyer? One of the things that happens in my household and in the business, since we live together and we work together, Trevor is more of an overbuyer and I'm more of an underbuyer. So we have these arguments about how much stuff do we have to buy? Why can't we just buy stuff when we need it? Why do we have to stock up on so much stuff? It's an ongoing thing. So let's see what the cards say on the energy is. How do you manage spending? How do you manage your spending habits? How do you feel about your spending habits? Okay, the energy is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the money manager. This is, I love that money came up for this. And knights are action-oriented, striving forward. But the Knight of Pentacles is the most patient knight, the most reserved knight that understands how routine goes and how being structured in an approach, especially when it comes to money. So this also could be somebody who can, an assistant, maybe like a bookkeeper or something, to give you the reports you need to know. Am I overspending? Am I underspending? How do you treat money in your business with the necessary investments in the business that then potentially could have an ROI? Do you look at it in that depth through a process of spending? Okay, so the shift is the Eight of Swords. This to me says that if you don't understand this habit of yours, of whichever one it is, underbuying or overbuying, if you don't understand it, you're going to find yourself in moments of feeling trapped. Like when you need to spend money, maybe you're short because you realized how much you spent last month on something that wasn't really that important, or was there an ROI consideration in the strategy of this expenditure? All right, let's see what the result is. Oh, another Seven of Pentacles, another money card. And this is reap what you sow. So this is really interesting because this says to me that if you don't manage this in a way that you feel comfortable with, or that you know somebody and trust somebody that you're comfortable with, that really can shine a light on the times, or that you can confer with, like, hey, I want to buy this, or I need to buy this much of that, or whatever. If you don't have a handle on that, then you may have feelings of like all that you have accomplished isn't enough, because you're feeling trapped. You're feeling like, could I have done it better? And you might have some regret. Ooh, that's pretty heavy. And I gotta say, I kind of love it. All right, the next one is Glitch 218 for August 5th. Do you have a long-term plan for your business? Do you have a long-term plan for your business? Yeah, so it's one thing of being excited to start a business. It's one thing to be excited as you excel and see milestones and experience the thrills of accomplishments, celebrated wins of winning new clients and contracts and so on. But like, how far out are you projecting this to go? How far out are you planning to have this adventure and endeavor be profitable, be sustainable? Is this a retirement plan type of venture? So, how far out have you looked? How are your long-term plans? Have you looked at long-term plans for your business? Let's see what the cards say on the energy of that. The long-term plans for your business. Wow. Money, 10 of Pentacles. This is, 10 is the highest number in the suit for each suit. 10 is accomplishment, success. This is also a legacy card. If this isn't the most apropos card for a business owner on addressing long-term plans, I don't know what is. All right, well, so I don't want to say anything more about that. Let's just look at the shift. If you are, fantastic, this is speaking to you. If you're not, this is saying this might be something you want to consider. So what's the shift that we would have to make? This is the 10 of Wands, 2 10s in a row. That's kind of big. 10 of Wands is overwhelm and burden. You can tell here from the picture that this business has done so well that look at all the product that's been ordered for this business and sold. Except he can't even see where he's going and they're falling all over the place. If you don't address this, you will be caught off guard for when the time comes. And then you may feel like, oh, I could have done it differently. Again, another feeling of regret that you could avoid by addressing little by little over the years on how to put in place some things that other business owners have access to for long-term plans. And we're going to get into that in the next glitch. So stay tuned. And here's the result for this Two of Cups. I love the Two of Cups when it comes to business, because that to me is another strategic alliance message. This is, who do you know in your professional network that could assist with the different ways, the different strategies that could be put in place for businesses who want to set up to establish, structure a long-term plan. So just like the Lovers, which was the Experience Major Arcana card that we had just moments ago, the Two of Cups is in that same realm of support strategic alliances. I love this. I don't know if I could have asked for a better reading to appeal to not only people who already have an awareness that this is something that successful business owners do for retirement, for projecting retirement, but then if you aren't doing it, then that could lead to other stresses in the business. So I love this for us. All right, here we go. Putting this back, and it's a big mess, isn't it? All right, the next one is 219 for August 6th. Yes. What exit strategies? I told you this was coming up. What exit strategies exist that could be best for your business? One of the reasons this came up is also because with my insurance background and my financial planning background, securities license background, we would talk about generational transfer, management buyout, sale to partners, sale to employees, sale to third parties, recapitalization, IPOs, orderly liquidation. Orderly liquidation is another word for selling off everything when you have to close your business. And this is my cue right now, not only to say, please like and subscribe if you find this at all entertaining or informative. And in the Biz Glitch 366 project, these glitches are emailed, the mistake of the day. And in the email is not only the glitch that I share with you here on the video for the reading, but also lots of stuff, information to support the glitch, and goals and actionable items, and some even have downloadable resources and access to other support materials to make this thing a little bit more appealing or palatable for you to execute on if this is something that hasn't been on your plate yet, and maybe it's prudent to consider. So that's the little promo for that. So let's look at the energy around, how do you feel about reviewing, discussing, strategizing exit strategies for your business? What's the energy around that? Four of Cups is back. Yeah, this requires a thought process. This requires planning. And there's a lot of feelings around planning. So, I mean, if we got the Wands or we got the Cups, either way, there's a lot of feelings around talking about exiting your business when you're like, but I'm still working in my business. I'm still enjoying my business. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow, much less what I'm going to do in 10 years or 20 years with my business. But this takes some deep soul searching of where you see yourself in big milestone years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So that takes some time to consider. This is also the card of apathy. So being apathetic about looking into your future, and winging it, playing it by ear, you could be in a situation where your options are fewer or fewer to none that you have down the road. And that's not a fun place to be. So the shift is the 5 of Wands. The 5 is a conflict number. 5 of Wands is, I look at this as the competition card, but this could also be the competition with yourself, with the challenge between apathy and action. So really looking at how to make this, how to execute on this. How can you find that energy to, from the meditative state, to apply that energy to an action? And let's see what the result is. The 9, the 9 of Swords. This is anxiety. This is up at night, awake at night. This could be a fate that you are, you've accomplished. Look at all they have all the accolades, plaques and such. You have accomplished enough in your business that if you just take the time to see how you can put this into action for a longer term vision, you could avoid this as a future fate of your business. I definitely do not love this, but this is saying something because it is a challenging, it's a challenging endeavor to look so far into the future of what to do with your business. Yeah. All right, next. Glitch 220 for August 7th. Do you hire an independent CPA or accounting firm to audit your financials? Whew. Yeah, this is a safety net, if you will. And this is because we saw a lot of business owners that didn't realize how their accountants were filing their taxes because of how they were getting approved for disaster funding during the pandemic. I won't get into too much about that, but here's popping is 3 of Pentacles, money 3. 3 of Pentacles is collaboration and coordination and with strategic alliances to make things happen because, you can't do everything in your business. And also, I have heard of business owners that found out people were embezzling, whether it was an employee, a partner, a bookkeeper. So this is a nice to have for sure. Do you hire an independent CPA or accounting firm to audit your financials to see if everything is copacetic and that all is above board? Let's see what the energy is around that. These are deep. These are heavy. All right. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands. This is something that you'd want to plan. This is something you would have to prepare for in advance. Looking ahead. If you have some feeling of this happening, then this is the planning and preparation you would want to do to bring somebody in to help you assess this situation. So what's the shift? The 9 of Wands, wounded warrior, boundaries, establishing boundaries for your business, either reactively or proactively. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. And what's the result of hiring an independent CPA or accounting firm to audit your financials, make sure everything is cool? And the 2 3s, 3 of Cups. This is a celebration. This is friendship. Maybe you have a good relationship with your financial advisor, accounting person, and that this would be a beneficial thing for you in your business. Again, not all glitches may apply to you. That's why the timestamps are in the description for you to hop around and see. I love that there are 2 3s here because 3s are about growth, creativity, and communication. So again, coordinating with strategic alliances in your business and to plan and prepare so that you are not finding out after the fact that someone has breached your boundaries, especially financially. Wow, I love the result. I love the result most of all of that. No pentacles though, that was interesting. Okay. Next is 2/21, August 8th. Do you have an office outside of your home? Do you have, okay, all right. So this is, when you're a solopreneur, you might work at home. You might work in bed. Not guilty. Yes, I am. So what if you were growing the business and it's time to move it out of your house and get an office? Like when we started Aurora Consulting, we were working from home, and then we decided we wanted to have a separate office to go to. So now we have both. We do both. We work from home and we go to the office. That entails more things to do, more work to do. You've got to budget for it. You got to forecast for it, because those are monthly expenses that don't go away: rent, utilities, insurance. So let's see, how are we feeling about getting an office outside of the house? Woo, 10 of Cups. Celebration. Maybe you get more space back in your house. Maybe your family's like, good, see you later. Thanks for taking the business out of the home. This is a celebration card. I love that. Okay, what's the shift? Ooh, and here we go. Money Director. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This is the businesswoman in the deck. So this is, if you're going to do this, perhaps you want to seek advice from your accountant, your CPA, as long as you trust them. Maybe your bookkeeper, if you have a bookkeeper, or your financial advisor, if you have a financial advisor. You want to just kind of make sure that you aren't caught by surprise that no longer can you afford this because you didn't think to budget for a long term, for a year in advance. And besides, most leases are for longer. So I love that you're getting a Queen of Pentacles after the 10 of Cups, because this is a big decision for a business owner who's tried to like be lean and mean in their business. Now the result is going to be, due diligence. This is the Moon. This is the Moon. The Moon is illusions of things may not be what they seem, but where the moon shines, there is also light. So you may be, there may be a fear factor involved that could keep you from expanding. Because even though this is the Moon card, due diligence, you do the work to budget accordingly, even if it's with the help of somebody that you trust that has financial acumen, and to make sure these feelings that you have about being excited about it, that the outcome is such that you feel good about this decision. Because once you make that decision, it is a long-term decision because of the potential lease that's involved. And then if you are having if this is something off, very whimsical, this could then be where you're having to battle with getting out of the lease. And how much is that going to cost? And you can't afford it, but you can't get out of the lease. So how much is that going to cost? Yeah. So this is just a careful planning, of making sure that this is something that you can afford to do. Very interesting. Very interesting. I forgot how much I like using these cards because they're business related cards versus the other cards that are the Rider-Waite. These are Rider-Waite Smith inspired, but I love that they're about business with products and data All right. Second to last. Let's see. Also, from a financial standpoint, go back to Glitch 191, where we talked about deducting home office expenses. And if you are not looking to get an office outside your home, that just could be part of the due diligence that we just read on, with seeing if it's prudent to get an office outside your home. Okay, last one is 222, Glitch 222 for August 9th. Have you considered renegotiating your office lease or refinancing your commercial mortgage? Yeah, I love this because it's just another thing to not set it and forget it. It's just another thing that you don't put in the drawer and think that you don't have any options. And also, because the economy is what it is these days, which we won't get into, but you may need to see where you can save some money. All right, well, let's look at it. Let's see what the cards say on how do we feel about renegotiating our commercial lease or your commercial mortgage. The energy is, the Four of Cups again. Ooh, and I shuffled a long time. This is another one of those things that is exhausting. It's like, is it possible? It's another thing to think about. It's a feeling of defeat, it's just another thing to do. And is it really going to save me money? Is there really an ROI, determination here? Is there an ROI consideration here? All right, the shift. Woo! The King of Cups. Basically, you got to get it together. You got to get it together to take care of these things. This is for the sake of the business. If you need to save some money during this type of economy, you kings are master of all the things that they do. Brand is cups. Cups are water. Cups are feelings and emotions. You got to get out of your own way. And I also love that this is the Four of Cups to go to the King of Cups. This is apathy to the master of your domain, if you will, your emotional domain, your emotional intelligence. So you really would want to make sure, if this is something, if you're doing the budget properly, right, monthly, quarterly, annually, then this is just something that, all right, you have feelings about it, but you got to do it anyway. All right, so the result is the Five of Pentacles. This is out in the cold. This is money. This is a conflict card. This is also for me, for what I see, is this is being resourceful. This is getting out of your head to go to where your resources are. Talk to the strategic alliances that you have partnered with. Talk to people who are in the space or profession of expertise when it comes to financial matters. I don't usually like ending on a 5, actually. So since I don't like ending on a 5, but for business, I interpret it as, this is my resourcefulness is sexier than helplessness card. But I'm going to just pull a clarifier just for fun, and that is the product director. So this is the Queen of Wands. This is the Queen of planning. You can plan how to address this. Again, we're talking about renegotiating costly contracts, a lease or a mortgage, how to do that. Planning to utilize your resources and mastering the getting out of all the feelings and get into your head about being logical and resourceful. And so that is interesting. I kind of love it. I'm not going to lie. Mixed messages to me a little bit, but nevertheless, I love it. And I hope you do too. And I hope you like and subscribe and share with other business owners. Now we're going to just look at the success card, customer feedback. I love this because this is card number 56. 56 is 11, 11 is 2, and 2 is collaboration and coordination with other people. And what this says to me is, if you want to improve and excel your business to a new level of making this the best that you can be, that it can be for the customer journey, you have to ask for feedback. What the card says is, there's an ideal product for the market. To discover it, use customer feedback as a guide. We do this a lot. We ask for reviews. We ask for how did it go, and sometimes we get great feedback, and sometimes we get like, I just didn't know that, blah blah blah, whatever the case is, and that helps kind of tighten up a little bit of the process so that they can manage expectations, and then you can also share with them why the process is what it is. That's it for this week's Tarot Said So. Please like and subscribe. Please share, and please come back to future tarot readings. We have a 10-minute tarot every week on a business topic, and we have the weekly 7 mistakes, 7 tarot readings. So we hope to see you next time, because the tarot said so.